Guess who's back in town?
Hey guys, welcome back to WeWatchedAMovie. Poltergeist 3.
Trace.
The shit stain on the life of the world.
We talked about Poltergeist 2 being unnecessary. This movie really was unnecessary. There was no reason in the world why they should have made this fucking movie. It was terrible, absolutely atrocious. It was a turd that needed to be flushed, that somebody didn't walk in when they walked in the salon, like, I'm not going to flush it. They were assholes. So apparently, Carol Ann gets given up by her parents. No explanation why that was. I mean, you would think that her parents would want to keep her close to them.
Which is the worst, because it makes the people who we liked seem like assholes.
So they go, and she's living with her aunt, uncle, and a cousin in this really nice skyscraper. They had a lot of opportunities in this movie to do something really cool. They had the mirrors. This was mirrors before mirrors. Yeah. This was even Insidious.
Mirrors for days.
Yeah.
And they thought it was her.
Nope. This is just cracked mirrors and broken promises that the director gives you.
Yeah, like, you go in from this and like Carol Ann, who, this movie, I swear to God, if I hear the words Carol Ann,
I hated that.
Carol Ann, Carol Ann, Carol Ann, over and over and over fucking again. This whole movie is just a bunch of people screaming Carol Ann over and over again. They dropped the girl off, and this is her last movie, which I hate that for. Because, I mean, she died.
Heather O Rourke was great.
Yeah, she was really good. And she died when she was 12 years old. That's part of the Poltergeist curse thing. But this movie was a fucking curse. You had Tom Skerritt in a third movie of a series, and you couldn't make it good. You couldn't make it good.
You had fucking Murphy from RoboCop.
Yeah.
She's a good actress too. She didn't do shit. The lines are terribly written. These characters are fucking apathetic. They're terrible. There's shit going on. They bring back Tangine. She's not even really likable because they just give her these dialogue that's just, she sounds like she really does sound like one of those snake oil salesmen. All this crazy supernatural shit's going on, and they're just like, oh, this is typical Saturday. It's like, this is what we do. We party and crazy shit happens. It's like, they don't care. I was like, this little girl got sucked into a fucking mirror and your daughter's missing, and they're like, I got beads.
We must be imagining it, John.
I know. It's like, what?
This whole thing, well, first off, it's a really good setting. But the setting that this movie's set up for, it's set up to be great. If they were to just give the backstory for why, if you couldn't get Coach back, damn you. But if you couldn't get him back, at least make a believable story that like at least caters to the characters that you created so well before. You've got their daughter, who was the crazy chick from Wayne's World. It's like, tractor beam. The one who was like, I got you a gun rack. Why would I even need, I don't even own a gun, much less to necessitate
She's actually a good little actress.
She's okay, but they've got her as the daughter, so you got this whole 80s setup as far as the actress goes. Tom Skerritt, you know, when you grow up in life, if you're friends with Tom Skerritt, you know you've made it somewhere. It's a really cool setting for a horror movie, and they just dropped the fucking ball. First off, you've got, nothing happens. Nothing fucking happens for like an hour. Nothing happens. She goes to the school for the gifted but smart, which it seems like they created an entire school just for this little girl. It's like, oh, these are people who are really fucked up but also really gifted. Then you've got this doctor, Dr. Seaton, and he's fucking great. He's terrible but great at the same time.
Lonely, huh? Sure. Why not? It gets lonely being away from home, doesn't it?
Yeah, Pat and Bruce and Don are real nice, but I miss my mom and dad, and even my brother.
That's very good.
What?
The way you made me look in the mirror.
I didn't make you look at anything.
That's what he meant. Manipulation.
What were you looking at that made me turn?
Nothing.
Carol Ann, you were looking at something.
I don't want to talk about it.
When you talk about things that bother you, they go away.
He looks like Tom Green as a 60-year-old, like with bald hair. He looks like Tom Green, and he's the worst actor ever, but you kind of like his character because he's just such a dick. His whole idea is that she's a hypnotist. Basically, she's a hypnotist, and she hypnotized a whole colony of people to leave their homes because she made them believe that there was ghosts there. It's the stupidest fucking premise ever.
I know, but I think that was one of those things, like, honest to God, it was like, is she a mutant? She's able to mass hypnotize everybody? That's a special gift.
That's telepathy!
I know, but you know, the thing is, then they would go from that guy, then they replace
telepathy.
Fucking Kane. with this jokey guy that's like just trying to look like, he looked like Ralph Nader. Poltergeist 3 is one of those movies, literally, it has nothing, it could have been its own movie, it has nothing to do with the other two. It feels like it's in its own separate universe, it feels like it's its own separate storyline, and the aunt is a bitch. Oh, yeah. Like, she's like, I hate, you know, this little brat. Like, bitch, you've seen all this shit going on and you can't tell me you believe? Oh my God.
5 minutes later, she's like, no, I really do love you. I don't want my family back, I just want you, and I'm willing to risk all that. It's like, where did this character change come from? Because you're on the side of a skyscraper?
Do you know who directed this movie?
No. Who cares?
The Riddler. Because the last 30 minutes of this movie is literally like, the director was like, I'm gonna have this shit happening, I'm gonna have that crap happening, I'm gonna have this stuff happening, and none of it makes sense. And they're gonna like, who are you? He's like, the Riddler.
There wasn't one cool scene that had potential in it. It's when Tom Skerritt, in all of his greatness and mustache worthiness, gets caught in the freezer, and there's those lambs there, and the frozen lambs and shit, or whatever, frozen animals start shaking and coming to life, and then everything fills with water. It's like, something freaky's about to happen here. That looked kind of cool for a second, but then all of a sudden it's just...
but they ruin it as soon as they go...
She's like, here's the beads, and then he takes the beads, and then all of a sudden, even though the fucking ghost already has Carol Ann, because it seemed like halfway through filming they were like, wait a minute, what's the point? Instead of doing something cool or something that has anything in line to do with it, they're like, look, we're going to put him in a parking garage and have it turn cars alive and chase him down.
That was so stupid.
It was just one dumb thing.
Like, at that point, I was like, fuck this. Yeah. I had to struggle to get through the last few minutes of the movie. I was like, this is like, I felt getting stupid. I literally felt myself draining intelligence.
That doctor, no matter what happened, he literally showed it to him like 8 times. He saw someone cocoon-like in a fucking caterpillar come out of someone else's body, and he's like, that bitch is somewhere making me think this. It's like, that doesn't even make sense. That's telepathy. That literally doesn't exist on the plane. There's no proof that exists, and he called it hypnotism. That's not fucking hypnotism. She's not even in the room.
That's some weird shit. God. But no, that's just that though. I mean, it wasn't even him though, man, because when she came out of Zelda's body.
Carol Ann, come here.
No.
Right? Murphy, I'm sorry, I know that's Pat, I think is her name in the movie. Pat and Tom Skerritt. They both just acted like, it's not good.
Skerritt.
Skerritt. His name should be Skillet. But Skerritt, Tom Skerritt, they were just like, you know what? It happens.
I guess
and they just this old crusty ass bitch just birthed your daughter back into the world, and you're just like, come, honey. And it's like, you just like, you'd be freaking out or something, like, holy shit, that old woman just turned into a mummy.
And then they're like, you know what would be cool? Let's have the 2 young kids step out of an elevator together, make out, and then one of them will tear off one of each other's face, and they'll walk away. It's like, that had nothing to do with the fucking plot of the movie!
Yeah, they're like,
what's happening?
They really thought it was me. Ha 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 ha.
It's a fucking 2. It's shit.
It's 3.0 for me. It really, I mean, and I'm only giving that to be generous.
I give it 2 just for the setting. It's a great setting. One thing I want to say we haven't said about the other movies before is that Zelda, her presence in these movies is amazing. She always reminded me of my grandma in a weird way, but she was awesome in these movies.
She was good.
She was the perfect character for that role. But yeah, so this movie sucked ass, guys. Comment below, let us know, what do you guys think is the worst 3rd movie in a franchise of all time?
Worst 3rd?
The 3rd movie seemed to suck a lot.
Oh, this one's high up.
This one's got to be high up there. I actually liked Leprechaun 3, even though it was stupid as fuck. Halloween 3,
Freddy
a lot
3,
of people have liked it.
That's not, well, Halloween 3
is alright.
Freddy 3, well, actually I like Freddy 3.
I like it better than this movie, so I think Godfather 3, still better than this movie. Back to the Future 3, still better than this movie.
No, that's alright. It's better than this movie. What the fuck? Yeah, there's a bitch that like, think on this. It's like, what's this?
Spider-Man 3!
Yes! Spider-Man 3, but it's not as bad as
it's still better than this.
Yeah,
this might be the worst.
It might be.
There's gotta be something. Maybe you can't even count Puppet Master and shit like that because you expect that shit to suck.
Puppet Master 3 was alright, so shut up.
But Just Till Dawn. By then they weren't even using anything.
This
was still a major motion picture. It wasn't like a straight to DVD thing. So
really, come on, that makes me mad. You can't even say Predators because Predators was awesome.
Yeah.
Predators with Adrian Brody was awesome.
Alien 3? Alien 3?
Yeah, it was still better than this movie. I mean, this movie might be the worst sequel,
really might be.
trilogy part of it.
I don't know. Help us out. Comment below. Let us know what your thoughts are. Like, comment, click that little subscribe button, get some wham in you. We'll see you guys next time.
See you guys.
We watched a movie.